Hi, I'm Jay Levine, and welcome to another edition of WNYT Television News. Today we have a lot of exciting features for you. John LaMonaco has been following the progress of New York Tech's radio station WNYT. Now here's John. Take it away, John.
Hi, I'm John LaMonaco outside WNYT, New York Institute of Technology's own college radio station. With me are several key players in the effort to rebuild the station from its point of decline in fall of '97.
I think the main thing that's happened to the station has been that it's really come back to the point where not only are we on the air, because that's a given, you have to be a radio station, you have to be on the air, but it's come back to involvement, it's come back to creativity, it's come back to there's an excitement over here that people didn't have before. People want to do shows, they want to be heard, they want to communicate. I think that's what radio is all about. Radio is about communication. It's if a tree falls in the forest, does anyone hear it? Well, if a radio show is not on the air, does anyone hear it? We're on the air, we're communicating, and that's what this place is all about.
What has happened to the radio station since the fall of '97?
Well, we had a hell of a year last year. Fall of '97 started out all right. We thought that everything was going to be going well. We planned on staying on the AM band and getting ourselves a better spot on the band to just make the signal a little more clearer for everyone else, but unfortunately that did not happen. There were a series of events that could not be, sometimes things can't be rectified in time. We had a little trouble with different companies coming in and doing work for the school and then not, basically taking equipment of ours and just tossing it to the wayside without checking on it first, which basically threw us off the air again once we were back up on the air. And then in the spring, I was involved in an auto accident that pulled me out of my managerial duties here, as well as with the school, and just as a student in general. And the management that was left in, they couldn't handle it. They couldn't get the job done in time. It was really unfortunate. But again, like sometimes these things just happen and you have to move on. And as of this year, we really have, and we've moved on in leaps and bounds. We have all new management with the exception of myself. And what we have now, they're much more responsible and they're much more involved in the day-to-day operations of the station. Just recently, as a matter of fact, as of November 21st, we were officially switched over from a simple AM college radio station to a simple FM college radio station, which is great. It's been something that we've been fighting for quite a while. The idea came to us last year, but we really didn't get the chance to expand on it because of the given situation. And when we were given the opportunity this year, we seized it, and we're not looking back. Things have gone great. We've had major renovations done here at the station by the maintenance department of the school, and we can't thank them enough for coming in and doing that. And now basically it's just up to us to keep going and to keep striving to make the place better. And it's a damn good thing that I've got a dedicated staff that are willing to be here alongside myself and the rest of the executive board to do this with.
How much progress has the station made since you've been here?
Well, I've been here for about a year and a half almost. This is the end of my third semester. When I first got here, we were AM, and now we're FM, which is just an astronomical amount of progress. Also, we're on the air. For about a year, we weren't on the air. We got the place all painted, and it looks really nice. And we finally got a record player here, which is something I personally have been very, very excited about. Not too many other people seem to care. But I think that the progress we've made is phenomenal. It's 110% progress, a 180 flip from where we were. It seemed like we were going downhill, and now it doesn't seem like we have any place to go but up, and we're going up fast.
What is the difference between the FM that we have now and the AM that we had last year?
Well, John, the difference between last year's AM and the FM that's this year is we're actually on the air with the FM. The AM blew out due to unforeseen problems, and we were never being heard. Now with the FM this year, we are actually heard. As you can tell, Paul inside is doing a show right now. We actually have listeners, so that's the basic difference. Better reception. People can hear us a lot better. The old AM transmitter was in the woods. This one's on top of Whistler Library, which is much, much better. And we have to thank all the people involved for helping us getting that.
My understanding is the station started on the Old Westbury campus around 1968. I arrived less than 10 years later in the fall of '77. At that time, there was a tremendous number of students, close to 100 students, that were involved at one level or another with WNYT. Either in the news department, we had a lot of people who wanted to do radio news, or they wanted to get on the air. At that time, we were broadcasting on a cable television channel. We manned the station from 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. We had to be off campus by 1 o'clock in the morning, and during those 5 hours in between overnight, we would run either tapes or we would try to run another radio station. But we provided the audio for a graphics channel that was on Cablevision at the time. By 1981, I left. I was the program director of the station at that time. We were doing a mix of top 40 radio on the weekends and what was known as progressive rock during the week. After I left, the station went through a series of growing pains, and there was some difficulty with both on-air staff and some technical problems. So it did experience some ups and downs throughout the rest of the 80s. And of course, into the early 90s, during the college's fiscal problems, there was some neglect. Right now, it looks like things are turning around. There's an enthusiastic group of students involved. There's some money coming the way of the radio station. It's back on the air. So I'm kind of excited that maybe we're seeing kind of a rebirth of some of the great experience that I had there, both making friends and really learning the business.
91.7 WNYT. You've been listening to Confusion Hour. And that's it for me. I'm signing off. Now, before I leave, I'd just like to give in a word of advice. I'm hoping the forces of evil get confused on the way to your house. Peace out.
A very interesting person on our campus is Dr. Tom Burke. Lou Everling takes us into a day in the life of Dr. Burke.
Hi, this is Lou Everling, and I'm here today with Dr. Tom Burke of the New York Institute of Technology. He's a very well-known professor of psychology and communication arts, and also has a very prominent role in the school's public relations department. And now, a few words with Dr. Tom Burke.
We do a whole host of things over in this office. We do media relations, we do public relations, we work with the press, we do alumni activities, which is a whole host of things. We do some development work, which is fundraising, promotional image work. We're involved with things for that go into the catalog. We're involved with photography. We're involved in anything which enhances the image of NYIT on any level, basically. And of course, it includes all three campuses. The other side of my life takes place in the classroom, and it involves teaching. Now, in my case, there's a whole wide range of things that I'm involved with. I teach communication arts, which is radio and TV, radio news, and also psychology on the undergraduate and graduate level, mostly the advanced classes and the graduate classes in the evening for those students in our MPS program going on into the world to be counselors and practitioners and what have you. And I think the classroom is an incredibly important part for me because it gives me the opportunity to bring people to where I am right now, to kind of point them in the right direction and kind of give them the impetus to want to do something more with their lives. I try to teach by inspiration, and if I can inspire one or two people at a time in the course of a lifetime, that adds up, and I think it makes a difference. I enjoy it very much. If I push these buttons, is this whole thing going to disappear? Because there are cool things in here, like drawing and painting, and I've never seen this before. This is so awesome. I'm actually learning to be a computer literati, if there is such a thing. I'm going to push a button and see what happens. I'm going to push painting and see. First you have to draw before you can paint. Let me do drawing.
Oh no.
Use the drawing.
Are you painting?
I'm drawing right now. Is this awesome? Ooh. It's surrealistic. Don't just have to have coconuts. All right, I have to know how to do this little control a little bit better. Coconuts. I like green. Green is a good dinosaur color. Let's color the tree first. Wait, my little thing here doesn't work. All right. It's not working. Here it is. You know, it's interesting that this is built right into a machine. Like, what is it doing? Is it like sending it like messages to do this? Is it like all number codes? I have no idea what this is all about, but it's pretty cool. Talking to myself, obviously. you to have. That's the moving against personality, okay? So that's the kind of individual who is selfish and abusive and obnoxious, okay?
Uh-oh.
You're right.
That was a hospital.
Don't laugh.
Oh my God.
It's the idiotic behavioral science course.
Like I said before.
They couldn't walk like 30 steps from Shore Hall. Don't go away.
Sure.
Hey, want to make a phone call? I'll call you at work. We'll do it together.
And now, Jay Levine has a very special and unique music review for us about a beautiful new album. Jay, take it away.
Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm here with the music review. Today's CD is by former Iron Maiden frontman Bruce Dickinson with his new album, Chemical Wedding. This particular album is very melodic, and it has a lot of hard riffs as well as long solos, which I find amazing on this album. This album has a lot of references to Greek gods and mythological creatures. It's a storytelling album. It takes place in different eras of time, different places around the world, like Jerusalem, for example, is one of the titles of the songs. One of my favorite songs of the album would be King of Crimson. The way it starts out with the guitars just pounding in there, and Bruce Dickinson's high melodic voice is tearing everything up. Another great song would be the extremely slow melodic Chemical Wedding, the title track, which is a reference about death and probably afterlife, and I find it amazing. He has a lot of classical influences in there as well as the rock and roll. I recommend this album for just about anyone, whether you're into sophisticated music or like me, the hard rock type of guy. You'll find this at any store, Tower, wherever, even Slip Disc, because they have the best music. And now, back to the guys in the studio.
And in sports news today, Tim Fowler won the Martone Trophy, which is awarded to the best high school lineman in Nassau and Suffolk County. He also is the first private school student to win this award since its conception in 1975. In holiday news this week, the annual tree lighting ceremony was held at Rockefeller Center. Thousands and thousands of people gathered to watch this amazing event. Thank you for joining us tonight on NYIT Television News. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.